well, comes a point when you just have to. Well,
I really need that new herbal essence for my hair.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. A miracle has happened.
Hey,
a miracle that must
you're an adventurer, aren't you?
share glory.
Have you been
brought
to...
forth by Malthus himself.
How do they say it? Fruits, vegetables, grass.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here. Wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead?
Keep walking.
Oh shit. Remember that.
Good pipe of peace.
Well,
Yes.
where did I put that?
Walk blessed.
My dam. You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Move
Oh,
along.
you're here. I thought you were in the city.
No, the Archmagister ordered me back.
This is holy
Feels
ground.
good to be
Outlander.
here, to be honest.
You do not belong here.
Funerals. I could have done without them, though.
I don't doubt that. I still can't believe that really happened.
Yes,
Brother
that
Yarrow.
just might work.
Such a good
Now,
guy.
if
If it isn't the prodigy, well,
Probably not, no. I wonder how it...
yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work, even though part of her report seemed to be a bit enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
Someone tell someone else is afflicted.
Why? Scared you've caught it, are you?
That is not funny. You know,
In the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the temple. Just tell the guard that Aranthiel has asked for you, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies?
came shortly before he did it.
Sorry, but I don't really see what you're going at.
I'm just trying to say that, well, maybe
Pathlessness,
all should be
wherever you
careful.
look. Where
Maybe
is this
it was
supposed
Euro's
to
grief,
lead?
his instability, that made him susceptible to the red magic.
Very
in the
well.
first
Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
place. The flameling and the apothecary. Find that out. Oh no. Brother, walk blessed. Yes, it makes sense. That's beyond me.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Well met.
Huh? What do you want?
It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Teela, back then in Kira, and we all know...
The mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting. I am Teela Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grandmaster of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name? Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable. Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I. I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthia. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me. There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now. Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind. Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time, the dreams. I always saw the same glaring, terrible light, heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place. They are a shared memory. A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking at the Pyreans. 3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end. Not identical, but one can split them up into episodes which repeat themselves in the very... Yes, it does. At first we considered it absurd, as probably you do at this moment. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They too ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was... and then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing. That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe they found out too late, or maybe they were too weak. Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well. Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophetess. It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly. Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself. I do not know. Firespark the Mage has told me your story, and even though your fate is tragic, unlike me, you were insignificant before your so maybe everyone can become an emissary, or we simply have not understood the pattern yet. No, as I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future. Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die? If it is wealth and power you seek, you will have it. The Order has enough of both. Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our Order, and to do so, you have to pass a test, a trial. It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about... I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for your... At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. Ah, one more thing. It might be self-evident, but keep your knowledge about the... I do not believe you can do any real harm. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. I see, but there came a moment. We began to study the history of the Pyreans. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared, and then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was... Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Walk blessed, prophetess.
Madame.
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed? Walk blessed, my... Sure. Where to?
Yes. Oh, yes. You're the prodigy. I hope you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. Our novices trained for years for this trial. And as much as I respect the Grand Master, I think this is naive. In other words, it will be dangerous. Be aware of that. Huh. If you insist... then it seems I'm granted the extraordinary honor of exalting the first pathless in the history of the Order to a keeper. The others will scream for joy. Give me the package the Grandmaster gave you, and say hello to your new comrade. Oh, yes. You're the prodigy. I was expecting something else. I hope you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. In other words, it will be if you insist.
What? Oh, hello. You're our unexpected addition, aren't you? The prodigy? It does, actually. I'm Kalia Sakaresh, by my path novice and aspirant to the first sigil. I've been told what you did in Old Rashengrad, that you saved the excavations and fought back the mercenaries all on your own. An astonishing feat, truly. You have my respect for that. I know, but you tried. You know, I'm really curious as to what the mercenaries thought they were doing. Someone willing to attack the Holy Order is either extremely powerful or extremely naive. Anyway, it's been an honor to meet you in person. Let's talk later.
I don't want to hear it. You're prattling. I don't want to hear it. Just shove off. Heretic.
All right, enough of the chatter. Come here. Here. These potions will be necessary later, so be careful with them. Apart from that, it's still a few miles to the ritual place. As you're all gifted with magic, the spores in the forest ahead will make you a little dizzy, but we won't stay for long. Any questions? Long story. Simply put, they come from a special kind of mushroom. So, in case you're thinking about exploring further, take some magical protection. Good. Stay close to me. But it's too late for that. Korek would have conquered the city. Instead, you will be ashamed.
So this is the Whispering Forest. Fascinating. I've read a lot about it, but never actually seen it.
Poor thing. My brothers and I have seen the border countless many times before. But I bet you know all about the Undercity's rat races.
Get ready. I'm too old for this. Get ready.
That was all of them.
Huh? Oh, did you now? So, what did you see? A horde of naked Scarag women charging... Okay, look, you're very impressive and talented. Tealor always had a fondness for those kind of things, but I'm not really one for all that. So, let's keep going. Wait, do you see that?
Yes, that man. What is he doing?
Who cares? He's probably just a traveler.
He shouldn't be here. No merchant in his right mind would voluntarily travel through the Whispering Forest. We'll go take a look at him. Stay ready. I see it.
She's with me now. Forever.
Kirash.
What in? You there? Who are you? And what are you doing here?
She's with me now. Forever.
What are you, deaf? Identify yourself.
His eyes. Master, this is the Red Madness.
Shit, of course. You will put away that pickaxe right now, my sir, and then get on your knees.
She wanted to leave. Don't you understand? She wanted to leave me. Just like that.
This is
But now,
disgusting.
She will stay. She promised.
By the righteous path! Have you lost your mind?
I could ask you the same thing, damn it! Did you forget what Magister Yarrow did to the novices? This man could have attacked us at any moment.
Oh, really? Malphus, protect us from your cunning. But did the thought ever cross your mind that one needs to understand a disease in order to heal it? And that some apothecary might have given their left hand for a living patient?
You're not being fair, Master. I was only protecting us.
Like... Heck you did. You behaved like an idiot. And not for the first time. The other masters might ignore that fact due to your religious commitment and your bloodline. I get that. But if something like this ever happens again, you will be suspended from the rites and will spend the rest of your life polishing banks in the sanctum. Do I make myself clear?
He really was trying to protect us, Master. Maybe...
Do I make myself clear?
You do, Master. And I beg your forgiveness for my offense.
Granted. Now let's push on. We will take care of the body after the ritual.
Are you okay?
Just save it. Keep walking.
Huh?
Not now.
Here it is. The first foothold. This is where Malphas's vassals erected their first camp. So behave yourselves accordingly. You too, prodigy. Well then, before we start, there's something I need to tell you. Something, important. The rumors concerning the deaths of the Lightborn, they're true.
What?
The gods are dead. They fell 2 winters ago, beneath the sword of an unknown traveler. We, that is, the Order, have known about this for quite some time now, but haven't told the common people yet. But since the 3 of you intend to take the trial, there's no way to disguise the truth anymore.
But how can a god die?
There was a prophecy, as old as the Lightborn themselves, in which there was talk of a shadow god, who would end the era of gods. And it came true. I'm sorry.
You're sorry. You're telling us that the gods have been killed, and you are sorry. What's next? That tomorrow the sun will stop shining? Tell us that this is a test, Master. It is, isn't it? A test of our faith.
No, the Lightborn are dead. But, hard as it may be to accept, we cannot afford to fall into a spiritual crisis right now.
The Order of the Gods, Malphas's order, was created to protect the Lightborn. And if what you're saying, this blasphemy is true, then we're meaningless. We failed, don't you see that? Oh, by the Black Guardian, I just can't believe it.
And though I shan't be seen, thou shalt live by my virtue. 3rd Revelation, verse 137. I know it's hard, Dunmore, but if this is true, we have to show strength and keep on believing in what the Lightborn stood for. Which is the idea of peace and...
Oh, just shut your mouth, Sakaresh. If anything, you lowborn scum are living proof that the Order is going downhill. Do you really think I don't know about the village? You're a damn witch, and if this were the old times, you would have been crucified long time ago.
You don't mean that, Dunmore.
Drop it, for heaven's sake! We're all on the same side here.
No, we are not. This wench doesn't have any right to wear the white robes. And if you would spend more time with the Holy Scriptures instead of your brandy bottle, you would see it as well. But no, you just...
Shut up! I swear to you, one more word and you will wish that I just suspended you. But... no buts. Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope so. for your sake. Just be glad that this is a time when we need skilled mages more than ever. Just be glad. Now enough of this. Our demeanor defiles this sacred place. There will be enough time for depression and personal crisis after the trial. Let's recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor. In life as in death. May your light guide me. Good. As you know, this trial will test the fortitude of your spirit. Because this is what distinguishes a keeper from a soldier. What distinguishes a wise man from a fool. Keep that in mind. Now, drink the potion I gave you. You first, Prodigy. Let's hope the Grand Master was right about you.
Oh no. No. No, no. I knew I wouldn't be the last one. Did they also tell you the tales about the Keeper's spirit? They've lured you into a trap, you know. And you fell for it. Because you're arrogant. Just as I am. As I was. Of course not. At least not according to your definition of the word. But then again, what is reality anyway? If I told you that you and your friend Sirius actually lie dead at the bottom of the sea, and that everything that has happened so far, your journey to Ark, the search at the Sun Coast, was only a dream, would you be able to recognize the truth? The answer is no. Because you don't want to be dead. Therefore, your mind will do anything to make you believe this entire dream you've had was and is reality. Doesn't it? Tell me, what is time to the dead and dreaming anyway? The last second before the water floods into your lungs. A self-created sanctuary built from nothing but your wishes. But what's the point in talking anyway? You don't want to believe me. And I'm tired of trying to make you. Now leave me alone, before we make the suppressor even angrier. What? They haven't told you about him? Oh, that's so typical. The suppressor. He's the reason why we will be imprisoned here forever. And why we can't access our feelings and wishes. And he does it because he wants us to lose hope. To stop believing. And... you know, sometimes I wonder if that's exactly what we humans... what I have... but no. No, not yet. It's too early to surrender. And isn't that what makes us human, anyway? To hope? And to just keep on waiting for that one miracle that will end the pain once and for all? Yeah, I'll wait. And you will wait with me forever. What the? How did you do that? You simply opened it? But that's impossible. All these years it's kept me from escaping, and you just... Come on. We have to look. We have to look and see what's outside. We won't get far, but still we have to see. Come, lead the way. By the gods! These are the scourges of the Suppressor! They want to punish us! This is so wrong. And right. At the same time. I know we can't escape, but to just have a glimpse outside. The Suppressor will understand.
It's so cold. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to go out. After all, I mean, yeah. Yes, the cell is small, but at least it's safe. This is so wrong and right at the same time. I know we can't escape, but to just have a glimpse outside. The suppressor will understand. This is so wrong and right at the same time. I know we can't escape, but to just have a glimpse outside. The suppressor will understand. What the? Haven't we been here before? By the gods, everything here looks so similar. It's a damn maze! Oh really? We should never have left. This will be our doom. Oh no. No. Do you see it? All the cells, they're all empty. And there's blood. Oh no. There were people in there just like us. They didn't know their place either, and now they're dead. They've simply dissolved because they dared to disobey the suppressor. By the gods, this is what will happen to us too. This is so wrong and right
same time, I know we can't escape, but to just have a glimpse outside. The suppressor will understand. Oh no, no! Can't you see? We're back. What? Leave me alone! The suppressor's punishment. It will be horrible. No, you haven't. Because you're blind. The suppressor is here, in every single stone, in every bone, in every drop of blood, and yet you are too blind to see it. But I should have known. I mean, what can you expect from someone who has killed his entire family? I followed you because for a brief moment, you made me want to believe, and now you've dragged me into the abyss along with you. Ugh. Of course I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me. Isn't that obvious? But I should have known you wouldn't understand. You're too weak. You always were. No, there isn't. Just look at us. Look at what we are. We are the damned because we are trapped too deeply in the past. And that's why we do not deserve freedom. What? The suppressor's punishment. It will be horrible. The suppressor's punishment. No, there isn't. Just look at us. Look at what we are. We are the damned because we are trapped too deeply in the past. And that's why we do not deserve freedom. punishment. Ugh. Of course I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me. Isn't that obvious? But I should have known you wouldn't understand. You're too weak. You always were. Well. So you figured it out? Yes. I am what keeps you in this place. But was it blind rage that made you act, or have you truly understood who I am? Have you understood what drives you and determines your actions? The salt corrodes your skin, and the water filling your lungs is cold. But you still haven't found it, child, have you?
Oh, hey. Good to see you awake. How are you feeling? In the temple. The curarium, to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixen guy. I think the others are already awake, but I didn't want to leave you here, so I thought I'd just stay. I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order. Everyone knows about Ixen. And the fact that you're asking this shows how little you actually understood. You're pathetic, you know that? Simply pathetic.
I said you are pathetic. At first we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a joke.
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just let go?
Because in the end, you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophetess, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. What have you done to us? You are so naive. The world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only logical consequence of your existence is annihilation. That's the way it was, and that's the way it's going to be. But enough of the banter, urchin. We wanted to meet you, and so we did. Even though the result is rather sobering. Now wake up. Keep on stumbling through the mist.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted. Of course, sorry. That remark was a little redundant. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't doubt for a single second that you would make it. But I suppose mutual congratulations are in order. We made it. We passed the trial. Almost, yes. All that is left to do is to take the oath, and then Grandmaster Aranthiel will exalt us to the keepers of the first sigil. Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. About the Pyreans, about these dreams, and of course, about this cycle. This is so bizarre, really. At first we're told out of nowhere that the gods have died, and now humanity is on the brink of extinction. This is a lot to take in. Hard to say. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster talked about, even though I'm magically gifted. But then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Madness was more than an ordinary disease. Well, I suppose all of this explains a lot. At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, most of our battle against the cycle will stand or fall with you. Yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been given, and as impressive as your skills are, I would not want to change places with you. Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. He's waiting for you in the Emporium. Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that he'll never wake up again. He was impulsive, yes. But to some extent, I can understand why he was the way he was. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to gild their insecurity with boastful behavior. The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. And who knows? Maybe he would have been a great help to the Order with the right guidance. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie. Well, maybe I just don't show it as much. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due to the fact that to me, as opposed to Dunwar, the Order always stood for an idea. And an idea doesn't die with the one who first thought of it. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy. That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I don't want to minimize that. But I also think a lot of those crimes were unavoidable. Imagine you're the king of a small island, and one day your realm gets attacked by a fleet of Scarab Reavers. The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, the Reavers have advanced to the farmland, just a few feet from your city's main gates. And before you know it, you have to make a decision. Will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's walls to have a better chance of surviving a siege? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers? Correct. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter what you do. There will be people who will despise you for your decision. If your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused of having acted blindly and idealistically. And if you just stay in the city, they will say you didn't even try. Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but should decisions like that really be made as if they were a game? As I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes, but I'd wager my left hand that they had a lot of similar decisions to make. I knew the question would come eventually. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so why not from me first? As you wish. Where should I start? Maybe with the fact that I don't remember anything that happened before my 6th winter. I don't know where I was born, and I never got to know my parents. I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. it was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me. The entire village. It had been destroyed. There were corpses everywhere. Men, women, children, and the houses had been crushed as if some mad god had rampaged through the streets there. And it had all just happened hours before because the destruction was still fresh. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. As soon as I got up, I saw 3 riders coming through the smoke. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started screaming something in my direction. Then I felt a blow on the back of my head, and I lost consciousness. By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been so long, but the memory feels as if it had happened yesterday. It's okay. Anyway, it turned out that the riders were men from the village who had gone hunting. They must have observed the whatever it was from the distance and ridden back to the village. At least I think that's how it went. I guess I'll never find out. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that the village priest found me a couple of days before it happened near a shrine in the wilderness. Apparently, I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And it seems that made the writers think I was some kind of witch child, or unholy beast, whichever you prefer. For you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. And think about it, it's not that far off. A motherless child who neither talks nor breathes steadily is found abandoned on the roadside and has a strange mark on her face. They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. You have to admit, it's not that much of a stretch. Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it too much. And actually, it doesn't matter, because I somehow managed to get away before they could do anything. I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much of an improvement in the end because I was pathless. Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I made it through my time down there. But maybe that's one of the advantages of being a child. You don't think. You just act. Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found and taken care of me, I probably wouldn't have made it through my second year. Yes, otherwise I would not be here. Yes? Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide. It does, yes. But then, he had lost both his wife and daughter 5 years before he found me, so maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was a good man, and that's all that matters. That's right, we do, but we are both still pathless, and that disqualifies us according to the holy verses. I guess now you understand why I was never as connected to Malphas's teaching as Dunwar was. To some of the Keepers, I am still an outcast, and no matter what I do, I always will be. It does, yes. So maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was... Yes? Yes? Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted. You did. That's probably one of the after effects. But it's good to see the Grandmaster was right after all. I woke up just a few hours, but I suppose mutual congrat. Oh, speaking of... this is... The way you say that suggests some painful experiences you've had with the reign of the Lightborn. But it doesn't really matter now. I never had those dreams the Grandmaster, but then again, at least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order. Well, as I said, we both have to take the Holy Oath. Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and no, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar, the reality, but I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie. Well, maybe I'd... But yes. Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing. That's true. Imagine the invasion catches you. Will you use the... Or do you send them into the field? That's one way to see it, yes. What I'm trying... If you're attempt... Of course, there's a small... As I said. I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes. I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyway. As you wish. I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that the first memory I have is of waking up in the middle of some village. It was dark, and I felt dizzy and, I don't know, empty? That's probably the best way to describe it. I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and, well, that's when I realized what was actually going on around me. There were, whatever it was, one of them by the name of the sun. It's strange to talk about it like this. Well, it turned out the riders were They must have observed whatever it was. The reason they thought, apparently I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what, probably. Truth be told, I try not to think about it. I even made it to Ark all by myself. Yes, thinking about it now, still, the winters down there were cruel. Yes, he saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide. It does, yes. But then, he had lost both his wife and daughter so maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I owe him everything. He was... That's right, we do. But we are both still pathless. And that... I guess now you understand why I was never as connected to Malphus's teaching as Dunwar was. To some of the Keepers, I am still an outcast. And no matter what I do, I always will be. Yes. And now I'm here. Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it. Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. I'd prefer not to talk about it, if you don't mind. He does, yes, and he's not alone in his opinion. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy pickings for those who were already against my presence in the Order. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with. Yes, maybe. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. That way, people just leave me alone, and that gives me more time to focus on what's important. Several, but I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe. You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. What do you think? Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed. Now then, let's go. Alright, this is the Sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Madame.
Where is this supposed to be?
Thy name is my
You just
sacrament,
wait to see.
and thy path
Fucking
I
sissy.
will honor, in life as in death.
Walk blessed.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here, so it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready to take the oath. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
Castle Star Sound, but he's better than most of your
Oh,
men.
that's just how he is.
I want him,
Always talking
and you will need to convince your true Chesser of it.
Is that so?
Sky can rain fire.
Very well. I will convince her. You will hear from me.
I hope so. Well, look at that. You've actually survived the pointless
Good to see
test.
you. How do you feel?
Let's hope those ignorant fools will treat you with more respect than us
You've never
heretics,
been
although
in any
I
danger.
truly doubt it.
If I had doubted your abilities, even to the slightest, I would have never spoken out for you. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters. None of it, you'll see. The ceremony needs a little preparation. Even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches. I can feel it. People I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke through them. They mocked us and said our struggle against the cycle was pointless. It was... I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it. You did? It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between us. None. Maybe they are demons or magical entities. In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony.
My dame! Wait a moment! Phew! There you are. Here, a letter for you. What? Oh, thank you. Safe travels, and may his light guide you.
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it. Yeah, I changed my mind. Come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it. There we are. So, wine or pipe? Termatralian Brandy, vintage 8190. A real treasure. Consider it a congratulatory gift for passing the trial. Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, fair lady, what is it that drives you? I've been asking that myself since we met. I mean, it's not like anyone's forcing you to play errand boy for Arenthiel, is there? And with your abilities, you could make a fortune as a mercenary. Not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far. Makes sense. In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with, Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm. We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change. Especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great. At least initially. She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, she was a mercenary, but she only ever picked the jobs where she thought she could help people. Or at least do no damage. As you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession. And whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really. Oh, several reasons. First of all, she was primarily a traveling healer, and used the money she got from those jobs to sustain herself. She wanted to help people, yeah, but she also wanted to make experiences, I guess. Live like an eagle, love like a madman, and dream like a god. That was, let me think, about 3 years. Yeah, we went to Araziel, Kira, Arkwend. She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her. We traveled together and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition of it, we were a couple. Well, we were simply too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight, and an even worse world savior. Alicia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing. Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first night. That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favorable light. At least if you're like most people. Let's save that for another time. Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf? Oh my, is that how you think of me? Can't two good-looking adventurers have a nice chat on a beautiful evening without implications? But jokes aside, I think I know what you're trying to say. And as attractive as you are, I'm afraid I have to pass. Samara? No, I don't know. Maybe the entire thing with Lycia was enough for me. Sex is fine, but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such lofty expectations these days, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. You say what's on your mind, I'll give you that. But as attractive as you are, it just wouldn't feel right. I don't know why. Now, come on. Let's not make this unnecessarily awkward, shall we? We're here, we're having a good talk. Isn't that enough for the moment? Why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like? I've heard some stories about her. That's just life, I think. There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Arenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them. Their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, fair lady. What, you mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring.
Can I help you?
Yes?
Hey! You're an adventurer, aren't you? Have you been to... Oh...
As you wish. There. Climb the stairs. Go to the statue and speak with the Grand Master. No idle talking, no stupid gazing, right? Very well. The entire third and fourth sigils are gathered in there, so show some respect. And now, walk blessed, sister.
It is time. Come forward, prophetess. I know what you are feeling. Mistrust. For it is the first time in the history of the Order that a stranger will receive the holy consecration. You consider it a treason against our charter, and therefore against us all. And indeed, it is true that traditions have strengthened the Order. We have ruled this land for millennia, and for millennia we have prevailed. And I know that what happened 2 years ago has unsettled you. Yes, we are in a crisis. Yes, our foundation seems to be shattered. And now you believe that I profane even what little is left by consecrating a pathless one. But you are wrong. It was always people who have given strength to the Order. People like you and me. Yes, we did serve the Lightborn, but because they embodied an idea. The idea of peace through stability. And even now, after their demise, we will pursue this idea. We are facing a threat that endangers the world as we know it. And to fight it, we need one thing above all others, the readiness to make sacrifices for the greater good. This woman, like Novice Sakarish, has shown this readiness. She is talented and has a gift, and thus carries responsibility. But instead of running from this responsibility, she faced it, found us. She passed the holy trial just as we all did, and therefore she is worthy of joining our ranks. Consecrated ones, repeat my words. This is the day when my old me dies away. For today, I receive the sigil.
This is the day when my old me dies away. For today I receive the sigil.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
From now on, I live to protect, by sword and mind, the path, my land, and those who are without strength.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Until death absolves me from my duty.
Thus, you are elevated to keepers of the first sigil. Rise. Now let us all recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor in life as in death. May your light guide me. Leave now, brothers and sisters, and rest. We will need our strength. Go and get your armor at the temple's forge. After that, meet me in the Emporium. There's news. Ranks. After a novice has passed the trial, he is raised into the first sigil, and over the course of years, if he proves to be worthy, into higher ranks, up to the fourth sigil, which is held by the Duchessa and the Grand. Of the first sigil, yes. Our masters will teach you, our smiths. Walk blessed.
Move along.
And that's it. It feels strange. Yes, kind of. You know, for the past 7 years... Anyhow, let's talk when there's something new to talk about. Walk blessed, sister.
Walk blessed.
Light fades away at the end of the day. Ta-dum-dum.
There you are.
An outlander.
Yes,
what are you
dear.
doing in this
But
part
be
of the
careful,
city?
okay?
Shouldn't
Imagine
you
to
be?
rag on the house without a plan.
Did you hear the news? This woman has been most recently. The car told me that the Grand Master believes she could help find a cure for this right now.
Well met.
Beautiful and proud, the ruler of the Undercity, Vatira was her name. She was feared and desired. Beggars, thieves, and murderers were falling at her feet. As mistress of the castaways, she was worshipped and revered. Vintage wine and silken cloth, jewelry and tongue of gods, any loot and contraband were passing through her hands. Bribe, deceit, and robbery, no means too vile or fell for her. The art of crime she mastered like no one ever had. Beautiful and proud, the ruler of the Undercity. When the night closed in, she stayed sleepless until dawn. Men ate her beasts, they visited her chamber. Anyone who...
That's beyond me. Walk blessed. Well, well, if it isn't the prodigy. Oh, hello. You're the companion of that mercenary, aren't you? Dalveric, or whatever his name is. I don't want to be disrespectful, but our time's so bad.
You're the one they call the Prophet, aren't you? Congratulations on passing the trial, I guess.
Prophetess.
Now look at that. It's the prodigy. Now look at that. Someone who's actually interested in us as people. Arizalian brandy. Vintage 8214. All right then.
Well met.
When I hear you say that, I don't regret for a second that I never came back to Ostian. Even though I've thought about it from time to time. Wow! Finally, someone who says it up front. Yeah, I've got some Scarag blood in me, though comparably little in regard to my grandfather. He used to serve in the South Realms Marines. And one day they captured a ship of Scarag raiders, some of them women. Stories say he fell in love with one of them, and you can connect the dots. But to answer your original, though we fled the city around 10 years ago. The temple was always a bunch of fanatical fuckheads, but that bastard High Priest Janus gave the word butcher an entirely new meaning. I know, and nah, I hardly know anything about her. Only that they were raiders and that she fled about... You should have seen how people reacted to the way I looked. Even as a kid, they always looked at me and my almond-shaped eyes as if they were expecting me to pull out a skull fetish any second and start putting curses on anyone in the vicinity. True words. Warriors of the Creator. War against the infidels. The Creator's children don't even sugarcoat how radical their faith is anymore. And still, so many people join their ranks. It's fucking insane. Don't think for yourself anymore. Let someone else... I had. He was about 15 years older than me, and was always a troubled child. Drapers for generations. The best in Ostian. I suppose that's why my father expected so much from Rakul, since... But Rakul, he just wasn't made out. I can't remember how often father told him that he was a disgrace. You can call it that, yes? Look, he spent almost all of... Well, in one day, he announced that simply attending the masses wasn't enough anymore. He would join the temple's warriors. Damn right. That's what these bastards do. They exploit the vulnerability of people like him and indoctrinate. And once that's done, they send them to fight for their holy causes. In other words, their own interests, like pawns on a chessboard. And if they die, then they call it a fucking honor. I'm sorry, my dame. Your youngest son just died. But don't worry, he's in a better place now, eating grapes and drinking honey. What solace, isn't it? Now, do you have any other neglected children for us? We're running short on material. Damn it, I hate those bastards. I just hate them so much. He was slaughtered, hacked into pieces by Chancellor Baratheon's cavalry. That was before the peace treaty. I'd be surprised if they taught him what end of a lance to stab with before they sent him into the field. But, well, I guess that... Creator, Lightborn, the Great Spirit... Same... It was good talking to you, but I'm dying for a nap. Take care.
But that's how it is.
Malphas's blessings.
Presented by the poets.
Malphas's blessings. Well, that's just how he is.
Of course they have. You know how these bureaucrats are, but they will do it.
Very good. Thanks for your efforts, my friend.
Don't mention it. I just hope you know what you're doing. You know, many see the course the orders... So, you actually made it, Prodigy.
Yes.
Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure everyone
Yes, it
is as
is.
glad
Master
about
Tyrus,
that
my
as the
foster
Grand
father.
Master.
He was half Kyranian, as you might have guessed already. Some words just stuck around.
Move along.
Madame?
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead? Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Away at the end of the day. Ta-dum-dum.
Brother, did you get my letter?
Ah, yes.
I did. Magistra Yela approved your request.
Walk blessed.
Yes. The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Well, well, if it isn't the prodigy. I've heard some rumors about your favorite school of magic. Dangerous waters you're treading in. Be careful.
Yes. Yes, that just might work. Unreliable. That's what they are.
Well met.
Huh? What do you want?
Right. The highly debated new keeper. You suddenly have caused some uproar. I'll give you that. So, robes, mail, or plate? Fine, here you go. And no matter what you think of all this, wearing this armor is an honor. Get that into your head. Most of us had to wait decades for it. Walk blessed.
So, you actually made it, Prodigy. Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure Should I? I don't know if you deserve to be here. Sakaresh does. She has proven it for close to 10 years now. But you... Maybe there is something to the Grandmaster's talk about you being one of these emissaries. And maybe you can indeed help us in some way. But you're still an Well, I suppose you could say that, yes. You make it sound as if the Order is some kind of mercenary. It was our path to become keepers, and we followed it. It wasn't much of a choice. No. But enough of the chit-chat. I'm really not in the mood for it. Good luck with whatever the Grandmaster has planned for you.
Sure. You'll have to pay normally, though. As much as the Grandmaster favors you, metal and work don't come for free. Walk blessed.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Walk blessed.
Huh?
Sky can rain fire. Magisters never change.
Oh well.
Prophetess, did you find your way around? Good. It is important. Right now, we are still in the dark as to the true nature of this cycle. All we have are fragments, but we will change. The first one has to do with the stone fragments from Old Rashengrad. Pegast has not yet told you. The Arcanists have already put it together. The second trail revolves around a discovery we made in the Heartland. It could be a significant, if not... It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The Sigil Stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce it. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
Well, well, if it isn't the prodigy.
Move along.
Yes. Yes, that just might work.
Prophetess! Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, as if.
Blazes, I just can't bloody believe it. This just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, hey.
Why can't it ever be easy? Blazes, I just can't bloody believe
Wherever
it.
you look, where is this supposed to lead?
Walk blessed. Oh, yes.
There you are.
Guess what?
Walk blessed.
Huh.
Have a moment?
You're that new keeper, aren't you?
Greetings. Of course,
Elia,
what do you
the
need?
novice who was assigned to me. She's supposed to help me in the nobles' quarter. I'd go look myself, but I'm lucky if I get to breathe. And all it's work,
isn't it?
Go
Well,
find
I
her
did study the
and tell her
Chronicles,
to
so
get
I
her
suppose
bloody
so.
ass
Yes.
up here and
What do
help
you need
me.
to know?
Oh, hey.
If you do
This
that,
Jackal, the
won't be
commander
to
of
your
Dilgar,
disadvantage.
who incited the conflict. What do you know about him?
Only what's written in the old lore. He was a fast climber, and he wasn't born into the cast like most sun priests are.
Wait, so you're saying he was no Dilgar by blood, and yet he made it to their commander?
Yes, because he was a pragmatist. Whatever was necessary to gain him influence and power, he did it. You know the kind of person.
Huh. That doesn't go along well with the fact that he started this war against the Ishian.
Why?
Well, you know, usually pragmatists are mainly concerned with themselves. Start a war that divides the entire Pyrean realm? That sounds more like fanaticism to me.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well... But why not? You're not one of those godlamb. Yes, the Lightborn. But truth be told, if that makes sense. Yes, but that's because the Lightborn have left a power vacuum, and everybody feels obliged to fill it himself. Plus, there's the sight. I'm talking about grand-scale changes, such as in the way we think. To know that gods can be killed, that they're the most religious country of all, and yet people act as if nothing has happened. All it needs is some fancily dressed-up clergyman. Well, I've been thinking about that. I suppose it's because the Lightborn's reign has always lived from people... The gods were tyrants, and they robbed mankind of their right to self-determination. Regardless of the consequences, what we enabled the Shadow God to do was the right thing to do.
Pathlessness, wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead?
What? What?
Yes, it makes sense.
What?
Well, well, if it isn't the prodigy. I've heard some rumors about your favorite school of magic. Dangerous waters you're treading in. Be careful. prophetess.
What?
Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
So what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average crypt corpse.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ashian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back... Hello? I do? Thought I had gotten rid of it by now. Oh, I don't... You know, if someone would have told you 20 years ago that one day I would be the Archmagister of the Holy Order, it's absurd just to think of it. You know, I was a... Yes, you see, I was born into a traveling group of Aeterna minstrels. I never got to know my father, though, and living that way was hard. So my mother eventually decided to burn all bridges behind. Sorry, I'm babbling. I don't want to bother you. Well, after some days on the road, we met a traveling merchant. It seemed almost perfect at the beginning. The place was quiet, and one day, however, the Count simply stopped paying her. And, well, when she asked for the reason, why wouldn't it be? We were just a woman and a young son, and he owned both the land and the local guard. We had to serve this Creole. That was the Count's name. For 9 years. Pure luck, I suppose. And just by coincidence, he saw me crushing some herbs I had found in the forest. That's what I did in the little spare time I had. What I didn't know was that I had found an entire sheaf of God's tongue. He left her there. Believe me, I cried and protested, of course. But 2 months later, our ship arrived in Ark, where he got infected with... And since his relatives didn't know what to do with me once he was dead, they simply asked the Order to grant me the novitiate. Which they did. I tried, but as you can imagine, my obligations made my options to do so very limited. Only recently, however, word reached me from a mercenary whom I sent over. According to him, Creo's dead. But who knows if he just said that to appease me. I think when all of this is over, I might ask the Grandmaster for permission to travel there myself. By the righteous path, now I'm sure a woman like you has better things to do than listen to the stories of a boring chronicler.
Well, hope it can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster.
Walk blessed, Prophetess.
We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is her?
Yes, this is the Prophetess.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be... different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering, how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an order. All you have to do is remember the glyphs and the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of you. A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least... No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Archmagister?
Yes, well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be Walk blessed, prophetess.
And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myrids Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now.
Wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead? Huh?
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you.
Huh? Can I help you?
So much.
Walk blessed, sure. Where to? Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed?
Ah, there you are. Ready to go? Yeah, I did. Why do you ask? Well, I guess that depends on where you're standing. Of course, times can be tough, especially if you come... And yeah, I don't eat God's tongue for breakfast, but it was always enough for a roof over my... That's a good question. I suppose in the end... Now, aren't you inquisitive? Let me think. I spent most of my time abroad in Kier. Yeah, it is. There's this fog everywhere, and with every step you take, you have to be... What am I, a traveling tome? There are the great bazaars, the palaces of the merchant lords, and the fortress... Different. As beautiful as the Isles are, there's always this feeling of rush. And it's the customer's fault if he doesn't see the fraud. But if he does, bizarre, isn't it? But over there, it's common practice. Wonderful. Here, this is the place where the aged man's manor is supposed to be. Lead on. I'll follow you. Keep your chin up. Still alive? Good. Let's go. We shouldn't waste any more time. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Ah, there you are. Let's push on. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Still alive? Good. Let's go. We shouldn't waste any more time. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. the scar. Well, let's put it this way. If you one day end up in a Talgalean tavern and never heard of it? It's the capital of Araziel. At least if you ask the civilized people. Hands up. Some rich snob had hired me back then to bring him a totem. No idea how much you know about assassinations, blood feuds. Anyway, obviously this job of mine originated from that feud. The totem belonged to a free tribe, and the snob wanted it in order to Correct. And of course the totem. That's what happens if you ask your loins rather than your head in the wrong situations. Oh, whoa, such a cold world this is. But anyway, how does the saying go? A truly beautiful face can never be tarnished. And that's why you enjoy working with me. Keep your chin up. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. So these are the puppets the bards have been singing about. Huh. Interesting to see what some people consider art. This is where he lives. Huh. This aged man definitely knows how to make himself comfortable. I guess now it's time to wait for nightfall. We wouldn't want this guy to take the artifact, pay for it, and have us leave right away. Alright. I think that's enough. Now let's see how we can get in there. These busts look interesting.
Yes? What do you want? I'm the servant, so no, I'm not. And if you're looking for charity, you've come to the wrong place. Do you now? So what could two traveling merchants dressed in rags have that might be of interest to my master? This is the silver brooch of a seraph. Where did you get this? Uh-huh. Well then, this changes the situation. You may enter. Plus, forgive my harshness. I misjudged. Unfortunately, Master Gages is currently playing music, and will be at least until dawn. But you can make yourself comfortable in the guest room. He will see to you in the morning.
Okay, that sounds good. Today we wouldn't have made it back to Ark anyway. Just try to get my reward into flying this weather. So, nice house you've got here. So it's just you and your master who live here, right? People talk about him a lot.
Please, but just save the small talk. You're here for business. Good. Now follow me upstairs. I'll show you to your quarters. As I said already, Master Gages will play through the night. My apologies if his music keeps you awake. But if you want a piece of advice, listen. You won't hear anything comparable in all of Vin.
Well, then we'll do just that. So I take it your master's an artist, right? I saw the puppets. They're interesting.
Interesting. Yes, that they are. Master Gages always says art is unique because it allows us to see what our mind doesn't want us to see.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we all have demons inside of us, don't you agree, Miser Dalvaric? Memories, truths about ourselves we've locked away somewhere in our unconscious because we don't want to confront them. True art surpasses all these barriers because it reminds us of who we truly are.
Interesting thought.
All right, here we are. Make yourselves at home. I will inform you once the Master is ready to see you. By the way, call it intuition or premonition, but I somehow had the feeling we would have company tonight, and took the liberty of preparing a small meal. I'm afraid the meat is a little charred, but it should taste good. Now, please excuse me. I have to rest. It is late, and the day has been exhausting.
Of course. Sleep well. And thanks for your hospitality.
You're welcome.
And there he goes. Call me paranoid, but this all went a little too smooth for my liking. Yeah. For example, the fact that he was already standing near the gate when you rang, and that he lives with a man who's older than the Black Guardian, at least according to the legends. But, well, to each his own. Yeah, 1 or 2 hours at least, until this servant's asleep. I've got a skin of wine with me, so if you want we could enjoy it in the meantime. I wouldn't touch this food if I were you. You could tell me about this trial while we're waiting. Or about anything. Just distract me from those damn ugly puppets over there. Interesting thought. The thing about the last moment that lasts forever. Did you know that Kyrian mentalists are apparently able to sort of become aware in their dreams? And apparently, in a dream, one can exist free from time. There's a story about an arcanist who spent 1,000 years in a dream while he only slept 8 hours in his waking life. But, well, that's a topic on its own. I think it's late enough for our little excursion now. Let's find that relic. There it is. Master Gaius' music that transcends all barriers. As jolly as this place. That looks like some kind of study. Maybe we could find something here. we should take a look at these bookshelves. They look kind of weird. Now, get it? These books must be part of some kind of mechanism. Have you tried, I don't know, on them or something like that? We have to find this artifact. Maybe he's hiding it in some kind of chest or a secret chamber. Let's look around.
always been? You! I thought you were dead.
Jakal. He betrayed us. They're all dead.
What?
Yes, but it doesn't matter. We have to get away from here. His armies, they're everywhere, and they're killing everyone. What about Lilanya? Is she alright?
Yes, she's asleep. But where do you want to go? We're... Come on, get inside. We'll talk about it there. Our brother, he's here too. He arrived last night.
Kumar? I thought he was up north.
He was, yes. But he rode back when he heard about the siege. He wants to help defend the city. He will be angry when he finds out that you fled, you know?
Staying would have been suicide. He would understand.
Kumar,
I see it. Why are you here?
The Treasure Master betrayed us, and Jakal's troops have gone crazy. They're massacring their entire city. They said we...
I know that, but you didn't answer my question. Why are you here?
Where else should I be, damn it? The High Ones won. They won, and this accursed cleansing will happen, whatever it is. But if there's only the slightest chance that we can make it through, I will use it. Unlike you, I do have someone I need to take care of.
Let's hope she doesn't take after her father. Your cowardice disgusts me, brother. You've never understood what it meant to be an Ashin.
I knew that would happen.
He's such a bulldog. For him, there's nothing but his goddamn honor.
At least since he lost Yalek, yes. He won't let us flee. You do realize that, right? He will force you to keep your oath, to stay and fight. To the death.
I will talk to him. We'll do this, sister, somehow.
Yes, of course we will. There's still some stew. I will prepare a bowl for you, alright? You go look after the little one. I think she is slowly beginning to understand what's happening here. Kumar, what? Where are you going?
Go and get Perrick. We're leaving.
Leaving? But you heard him. The city is lost.
Well, isn't that good timing? I have been thinking, and I have decided that I will not let my only brother die as a deserter. We will ride to the city at first light and help with the defense.
That's not going to happen. I told you that. Zura and I will take Lelania and flee to the north. Come with us or don't, but you will not get in our way. Period.
Period. Thank the highest being that we're family. Just thank them.
Kill them! Kill them all!
Oh, by the name of the sun, do something, Perrick. Keep them out of here.
Damn it! More of them. damn it, damn it! More of them. Damn it! More of them.
really think you can stop us? For every one of us you kill, a dozen more will come.
No, please. I don't want any of this. No one wants any of this. Just let us go. I have a daughter.
So, I hope you slept well? Well, what do you think? I brought you here after you broke into my sanctum and made your little journey into the realm of the dead. Please, don't look at me like that. I knew what you were up to from the start. Sadly enough, I did. No, you don't. Because you don't dare to question. Peculiar situation, all of this, isn't it? Suddenly you, the fugitive urchin, become mankind's salvation. And suddenly, just like that, out of nowhere, you can perform feats others would require decades to master. Even better, you're one of the emissaries who can hear the echo of the future. But still, you never asked yourself why. You're right, I do. But if there's one thing time has taught me, there are things one has to realize for him or herself. You can't force insight on people. It has never worked, and it never will. Who am I? Back then, I might have given you an impressive response to that. But at this time, let's just say I'm an observer. A fleshless eye, if you prefer. In this era, you might also know me as the Aged Man. Yes, and I'm certain that irritates you. But timelessness isn't that much of a feat. You will find that out yourself soon enough, too. Oh, please, spare me your threats. You are powerful, but not as powerful as you think you are by far. But unfortunately, there's no point in pursuing this conversation any further. You have what you came for, and the rest is up to you. Even though I doubt it will make much of a difference. Maybe you could do just that, but time will tell. Now, forgive me.
You? But what the heck was that? Where's the manor? Try me. Any explanation's better than none. Uh-huh. That sounds strange, to say the least. After you went down that shaft, someone locked the door to the study. And I couldn't get it open, no matter what I tried. Well, a couple hours later, I found myself face down in a puddle of mud. But anyway, these glyphs you drew on paper look good to me. So at least officially, this mission was a success. I only wish I... You see that? What's that? Casket? But where's this noise coming from? This is it? But then the aged man left it on purpose. For us. Whew. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but it seems to me as if this fellow knew a lot more than we did from the start. Still, we should take this thing with us. Let's go back to Ark and report to the Grand Master. I've got a scroll right here with me. What do you say? Well then, see you back in the temple. Here we are. I suggest you go inside and tell the Grand Master what happened. Then give him the casket. I'll go grab my pay now, and then I'll head back to the tavern. I guess I need a good pipe. For some reason, I can't get these puppets out of my head. They remind me of something, though I don't know what exactly. Anyway, see you around.
Prophetess, were you successful? Then tell me. So he knew about the cycle. That's disquieting and interesting. Yes, maybe that's an attempt to help us. He's not against us, because if he were, he wouldn't have let you out alive. I bet that the Lightborn also knew more about the aged man than they told us. This explains why Malphas told the Order specifically not to bother him. But we will discuss his identity another time. What matters is that you were able to find the missing glyphs, and that we now have this relic. However useful it will be in the future. Bring both of them to the Archmagister, so that we can activate the Sigil Stone. Oh, and one more thing. What did the Pyreans in your memory call those behind the cleansing? The High Ones? Good. Then the enemy has a name now. Come back to me once you've talked to Meragil. Pegast still needs your help. So he knew about the cycle. That's disquieting and interesting.
What? What?
What? What? What? What? Blazes, I just can't bloody believe it. What?
Huh?
What?
Hmm?
What? What?
So, you actually made it, Prodigy. Congratulations. Even though I'm not sure everyone is...
What? 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 Blazes, I just can't bloody believe it. What? What?
Jarem dorba nubis, locorem tares.
Blasted blistering blazes. You sound like a boozed up poet. This is supposed to be magic?
Entropy is a dangerous school, my sir. One false word and the stone could burst into flames.
Well, keep up this babble, and he might do it on purpose. You godlams are just missing the pepper, even when you're doing magic.
Pepper? Magic needs to have prudence, not pepper. She's like a sick frog. If you... Prophetess, you're back.
Sun be praised. Working with these fumblers is harder than teaching complex mathematics to a Leor. The Scrounger already told me about your success. Good work. Have you got the glyphs? Yes, just show me already. Yes, that does make sense. Step back, I'll show you how this works. Jarem Dorba Nubis, Locarem Taris Danida, Sharak Lisham Ra.
By the righteous path. Are you feeling this?
Yes, this is impressive. Truly impressive. Are those the shards?
They're certainly not your underpants, are they? According to the Piraean writings, these shards offered protection against the Red Madness, as long as the Sigil Stone remains active. Prophetess, you're the one who found the missing... So, how do you feel? Very well. Then let's hope that this Sigil Stone lives up to its promise. Boy, go and tell the Quartermaster that every keeper, as well as each one of us, is to be wearing one of these fragments by nightfall.
Boy?
Buzz off.
My sir, I really don't think this...
Do what he says, Legion. That is not how you will make friends here, Firespark. Not at all.
If it were friends I was looking for, I certainly wouldn't be here. Once again, good work. Old Aranthiel asked me to give you that, so you could buy better equipment. Now go back to him, and let him tell you about the next mission. It seems that Lishari has once again dug up something that could change everything.
Yes?
This just doesn't make any sense. Why can't it ever be? See? Yes.
Wherever you
Yes, that just
look.
might
Where
work.
is this supposed to lead? Yes, it makes sense. One day, Leah. One day. Let's hope he knows what he's doing. That's
Thou
beyond
art
me.
my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy
Is it
path I will honor,
Tell me not to burst
in
into
life
tears.
as in death.